Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, depending on when you're joining us today. My name is Amy Farmer, and we're broadcasting from the end of the line in C Chassis. Right here next to me is number 500 of the final 500 Aleros. And how appropriate is it that just yesterday this car received the J.D. Power Silver Award for Quality and Customer Satisfaction in its segment. No. When we get ready to roll this vehicle, it is going to represent two very significant events. The first is that it is the final Alero, and the second, it is also the final Oldsmobile, being built right here, as it should be, in its home. I know that I had the chance to talk to a lot of people this morning. There is a ton of emotion around this event, and while there is a measure of sadness here, there is also just a tremendous amount of pride. And I would say that we have built this car as a team, and when it comes time to roll it, we should roll it as a team. So on my count of three, I want you to tell our escort team here that they can go ahead and roll your car. Okay, are we ready to go? Number one, a great American car. Number two, built in a great American city. Number three, by an absolutely marvelously great American team. Tell them to roll it. All right, good morning again. Good morning. Before we get started, I would like to take the opportunity to welcome our guests. Welcome our guests on behalf of General Motors, our UAW partners, and of course, the LCA team. I'd like to welcome here this morning all of our government officials that were able to be in attendance, the mayor, his Blue Ribbon Committee, who has done so much to help us keep GM, the GM Dealer Council, and certainly all of the Oldsmobile enthusiasts that are here today. That would be just about everybody in the room, wouldn't it? We're getting lined up here. Let me introduce the escort team who brought the final Alero and the final Oldsmobile off the line today. First, safety first, and first and foremost, our driver, Rick Parr. Rick's a member of Local 652 and has been an employee here for 32 years. Nice job, Rick, thank you. Representing UAW Local 652, Mr. Al Cooper. Mr. Cooper has been an employee here for 58 years. Al is currently working at Metal Fab. He has worked in chassis over the years, and he says every day doesn't seem like work because he just loves coming here. Representing UAW Local 602, Mr. Billy Schleicher. And Billy has over 50 years of service with General Motors. He tells us that he can't believe that he's really the most senior employee. He works in maintenance in our paint shop, and we're very pleased that he chose to be with us this morning. He actually works third shift. And representing the Dealer Council, one of our important partners, the chairman of the Dealer Council, the Oldsmobile Dealer Council, Mr. George Nahas. Thank you, George. Okay, I would also like to take a moment and introduce one of our other special guests, Mr. Darwin Clark. Darwin is the Vice President and General Manager of Industrial Dealer Affairs for North American vehicle sales, service, and marketing, and he has held that position since 2003. Prior to that, beginning in 1996, he was named General Manager and Vice President of Oldsmobile. And I think anybody who knows Darwin knows that he's one of those guys that has a rocket tattooed on his heart also. And my joint partners, President of UAW Local 602, Art Luna. And Chairman of UAW Local 652, Art Baker. Okay, I know there's going to be a moment of logistics involved in this, but I would like everyone who is seated, whether you're viewing via broadcast or here in the building, to please rise and join us for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. And last but not least, this little beauty right over here to my right, number 500. She is a cherry red Olds Alero. And the final 500 have a number of special treatments applied to them, most of them with the Collector's Edition logo. These particular vehicles are all cherry red. They have 6-spoke polished wheels with a special center cap that carries the Collector Edition logo, the polished stainless exhaust tips, a cloisonné badge both on the fender and on the deck lid, the bright aluminum front door sill plates also with the Collector Edition logo, embroidered front mats, and embroidered front seat backs. And I'd say she's a pretty good looking car, wouldn't you? Okay, with that, we're going to have a couple speakers join me up here this morning. I would like to first introduce my joint partner, Art Baker.
Thank you. It's my honor to represent this last Oldsmobile for Local 652. It's also wonderful to see so many old friends that I do not get a chance to see. For myself, I hired in Oldsmobile when we built F-85s. And when I leave here, this will be an Oldsmobile plant. As I'm sure all of us that work here, this will forever be Oldsmobile for us. I would like to say to everybody here that this is not possible. The quality of these vehicles, both from a small car vehicle and our Cadillac vehicle, is not possible without the workforce that you see standing around you. What a tremendous workforce. I want to thank everybody for everything that you've done.
Thank you, Art. And if I could ask Art Luna, President of UAW Local 602, to join me.
Thank you. As I walk the shop floor and talk to numerous people out here as well as in the community, you know, it's the end of an era. It's an end of an era of heritage that we built here in Lansing. You know, it's an end, I'm third generation. My grandfather worked in the body plant. My father worked in this facility, and I am from the body plant. And I'm honored to be here representing 602 and the body plant. The end of an era is something that we all have a part of. You know, it's sad to see a good nameplate and a good friend go. But at the end of an era, we built the heritage of what Oldsmobile is and was. And that came throughout not just the plants, but in our communities as well. And when you build that heritage, the Oldsmobile has had a great run, and you all have been a part of that. And as we look towards the future of the heritage that we had here in Lansing with the Oldsmobile, it's obvious with the new building of the heritage of the Cadillac at the Lansing Grand River plant, and congratulations for your #1 in North America, Art. We too have an opportunity with our heritage to continue to build that. It's odd that, or coincidental, that 108, 110 years ago, when Rance and Olds sat down on the corner of Washington and Main and designed the first coach of the Oldsmobile, we too were sitting down, the 602 staff, administration, and Delta, visioning the same thing that's going out to Lansing Delta Township Assembly. So the heritage that we built here with Oldsmobile, we will continue to build that heritage in the future for General Motors here in the Lansing Delta Township area. And one thing I'd like to remind you, that we can say goodbye to an old friend and keep that old friend in our memories and in our mind, because that old friend's been good to all of us. But also, heritage isn't built by nameplate. It's built by the people that build it. And that's all of you, and thank you for attending. And we've done a great job as a team building the Oldsmobile. We'll do a great job as a team building the next future jobs for General Motors. Thank you.
Please welcome Darwin Clark, Vice President and General Manager of Industry and Dealer Affairs.
Good morning. It's great to be here to commemorate this great event. This is really, I guess I would say, a bittersweet day for me personally. As most of you know, I will always have a place in my heart for Oldsmobile. Having the opportunity to be General Manager of Oldsmobile at one time is one of the greatest events that I had in my career. I think it's particularly befitting that we're standing here in Lansing today on a site where we built Oldsmobiles for over 100 years. It's just great to hold this event to commemorate that event. Oldsmobile has really been about passion, about performance, and about people. First, let's talk a bit about passion. You know what it takes to build a great car, and I really emphasize the word great, because you guys have really done an outstanding job. You've been building great cars since 1902, and it all started with a curved-dashed Oldsmobile. Tuned into the legacy of Oldsmobile were the great 88s. From there it got better with the classic Oldsmobiles like the Tornado, the Super 88, the Starfire, the 98. Who could forget the 442s or the W30s, not to mention the Cutlass, one of the longest running car nameplates here at General Motors, followed by more recent products like the Calais, the Achieva, the Alero. Now, I failed to mention a lot of the great Oldsmobiles built here, but you get the picture. This plant and the surrounding plants here in Lansing are responsible for all these great products, which we showcase the Oldsmobile name across America. Second would be performance. Oldsmobile's performance is second to none. The people here in Lansing have also been an integral part of Oldsmobile's performance history as well, building the famous rocket engine here in 1949, which was one of the great innovations in the industry and something that was really put Oldsmobile on the map and was well known for many years and still known for that great rocket engine. The world literally stood still and took notice of this engine, another tribute to the people in Lansing that worked on these great automobiles. And third, people, which I think is really one of the key factors, not only in Oldsmobile, but in any product built by General Motors. It's people like you, second, third, fourth, and even fifth generation employees that have the passion to make the difference. The Oldsmobile family goes beyond these four walls and encompasses many people like your grandparents, great-grandparents, and great-great-grandparents. And I think that's part of the heritage and the legacy of Oldsmobile. There are even more former Oldsmobile people throughout the country, but all of them still feel great about the fact that they were part of 107 years of a great brand. We're here today to celebrate the accomplishments and achievements and the life of Oldsmobile. Each and every one of you have contributed to the outstanding quality vehicles that has been built here over a lot of years. We've built over 14 million Oldsmobiles here in Lansing, and you've done I would say, and you've done, in a word, a fantastic job. That's over 41% of the 35 million Oldsmobiles built. Again, many, many thanks for a job extremely well done. Now, like I said before, and I think you'll all agree, it's a bittersweet day for everyone who has rockets in their blood, and we're looking at the last Oldsmobile ever to be built. The sweet part of the bittersweet day is that we all have a part in the Oldsmobile story. I know personally my life has been enriched by the people and the products I've experienced through my years with Oldsmobile. Again, passion for the automobiles, performance, and people are what it takes to make something great, and Oldsmobile has certainly produced innovative, quality vehicles in the history of the automobile business. Thank you.
Thank you, Darwin. I think that these gentlemen have said it all. It's all about heritage, it's all about pride, and it's all about people, because people make the quality happen, people make great vehicles. And this team is just second to none. We have brought this vehicle to the top of its segment for 3 years running, and we're going to do that with every car we build. That's our commitment to this community, to the company, and to ourselves, and to the people that are going to be our future, our own families. Okay, it's an honor for all of us to be part of the team that has produced this last Oldsmobile, because for over 107 years, people have enjoyed the excitement of driving an Oldsmobile. They're great American vehicles, half of which were built right here in this great American city by a number of great American teams. And our teams represent those many generations of Oldsmobile workers who have made this Oldsmobile an American classic. We've proudly carried on the tradition of Oldsmobile, and this group right here has made this vehicle a J.D. Power winner in the eyes of the customer. Oldsmobile products will always remain a symbol of excellence, and thanks goes not only to the men and women of Lansing Car Assembly that are here today, but the men and women of this fine community that were here before us, the generations that preceded us, building great cars here in Lansing. Oldsmobile will always hold a special place in our hearts, but if you've listened to any of the conversation today, you know that everybody here is really the heart of Oldsmobile itself. And for that, you should be just terribly, terribly proud. The LCA-built Alero will be remembered as a world-class vehicle, and that is thanks to your commitment, to your dedication, and it will be on display at the R.E. Olds Museum, and that is being done as a lasting tribute to Oldsmobile. And we are going to see to it that this vehicle is delivered personally this afternoon. We're going to make sure it gets there as we would have it get there. Your signed hood, your signed deck lid are going to be on display for history. Let me just take a minute and show you the commemorative items that we're going to be distributing relative to the Alero and relative to Oldsmobile. This is a poster that's going to be provided to everyone. It represents years of history. It represents products. It represents people. It represents features, those things that used to be optional, and we now include them as standard, like such as a windshield. But it's a great heritage to everything that has gone on with the product. And as another tribute, there's a piece of this missing. Where's my hood ornament? Attached to this box is going to be one of the old stand-up hood ornaments, and I'm sure nobody in this room has ever had one come up missing off your hood, right? But we have one of the classic Rocket stand-up hood ornaments that will be attached to the boxes as we distribute them. But inside this box is a keychain that is actually the Cloisonne emblem that you'll find on the fender and the deck lid. Also in this box is the badge. Every one of the final 500 vehicles had a badge on the side that told you what number of 500 it was. This medallion is stamped off the actual production tool. We took the number off the bottom and put LCA 2004, and we have just a little stand for it. So this will be distributed to the entire workforce beginning tomorrow. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you very much both for your participation, for your attention, and especially I would like to thank all of those folks who make an event like this happen. You've done a great job. Special thanks to the crews. Thank you so much.